Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating 'cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savings, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, flash, I never switch, I never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my Fitbit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions.
Let's go, folks. Here we go. 180.
Mike 54.
Hey, tighten down.
On first down, Mosley. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Check the out.
Now a give right side. Mosley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
Brings up second and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again second and 10.
21.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Here we go.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And Robinson with a big catch. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. He finds Douglas complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is playing.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gold. That's caught. It's Malone. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gold. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing again. Gold. Open man there is Malone. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards, the final tally. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Looking to throw. Gold. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Switch. Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4. Hey, get in the way, man.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo stepping up. He's going to keep it. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo flush to his right, and that'll be incomplete.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. There's Garoppolo to throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Throwing on first down. Gold. Over the middle, complete. It's Malone. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Off the play fake. Gold. His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. The quick slant caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown. Minnesota. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Santos with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
Throwing again on second down. Stick. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
Ready? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go, tackle. Hit it.
On third down, Mosley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Stick on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's got room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he's going to keep it here. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
30 base. Mike 54. All day, baby. All day. All day. Hey, Zoo.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Easton Stick, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Lions are going to jump back in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Hey, Charlie.
Off play action. Gold. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Malone, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Stick back to pass. Flush to his right. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. 2nd and 11. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
70, Indy. Hey, echo. Get that quarterback. Get it.
On 1st down, Gold. Open man is born. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Cook following the penalty. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
64,
on 2nd down, Cook. And some room to roam now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Hey, defense, let's go. 51's the mic, boy.
Operating from the gun. Gold looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. From the red zone now, they look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space. and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Gold, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and that'll make it third down.
Let's go now. 60 or. Hey, let's go. You ain't going nowhere. Fun. Mike 51. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. 51's the mic. Yeah. Get it.
Off the play fake. Gold. And he finds McLaurin. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. They're going to go play action now with Stick. He'll buy some time right. And got his man complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you, push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd and 10, it's Stick. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Well, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Gold. There goes a deep ball in zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. From the gun, Gold. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Gold. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Taco Charlton picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Off play action, it's Stick. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Throwing to start the drive. Gold under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to get it to Josh Malone, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmaker.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Taco Charlton able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Another try after the 1st down sack. Stick. He's got White here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Stick looks to throw. Looking for White on the deep ball. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Stick. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it, and he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Stick looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. With that run, double check my math, yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Big stop. General West. 52.
To throw again. Gold. And this is Cook with a grab. Give him 9 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
From the gun on 3rd down. Gold. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Josh Malone, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is Are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll throw on 2nd down his stick. Escaping the pressure gets to him again. Taco Charlton. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. There's Stick, 3rd and long. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 1st and 10, Stick. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. He finds Robinson. And down inside the 15 he goes. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They run, Cook. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Ready? 51. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Looking to throw. Gold. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the 1st down in the process. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Got the connection here to Bourne. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I